Hi, today we're going to look at areas of circles. We're going to look at the different parts of the circle that you need in order to use the formula. We're going to look at the formula. We are going to look at a couple of examples where you were given different information and how we use that to find the area. And then we will look at finding the area of some parts of circles, like a semicircle or a quarter of a circle. Okay, so firstly, we are going to just quickly check that we know the names of the different parts of the circle. So for area, the part of the circle that you need, the only part of the circle that you need, is the radius, which is this line here. The radius is the distance from the center of your circle to the edge, so halfway across the full circle, okay? And that is the radius, okay? So always starts in the middle, has to be in the exact center of the circle for it to be a radius, and goes from the center to the edge. It could be in any direction. It could be going like this way, it could be over here, but as long as it starts in the middle and goes to the edge of the circle, it is a radius in whatever direction, whatever angle that's at, okay? The diameter is the other one, the one that's going horizontally, going across. And your diameter goes all the way through the center of the circle. So from each side of the circle through the middle. And again, that part is important. It has to go through the center of the circle for it to be a diameter. So the length of that line would be the diameter of the circle. So radius is halfway, diameter is all the way across the circle, always going through the middle. Okay? Now, formula for the area of a circle then. So area is pi times by r squared. Pi r squared is the formula for the area of a circle. So like I said, the only thing you need to know from the circle, the only information you need from the circle is the radius. And whether you've been given the radius or the diameter, you can find the radius and use it to find the area. Okay? So this first question, we have a circle. I haven't made that very clear, have I? This is the center, and the center on this one's here. So we have been given a radius. We have been given the radius as 7 centimeters. So that means we have to do pi, okay? Pi is a number. It is an irrational number that has infinite numbers of decimal places, but no repeating pattern, which is the definition of an irrational number. And so we give it a special name. We call it pi. It comes from the ratio between the circumference and the diameter of a circle, but we don't need to worry too much about that right now. We just need to know that it is a number. You need to know how to do it on your calculator. You press shift and then you press this times 10 to the power of x at the bottom of your calculator, and that will give you pi. Or if you don't have a scientific calculator, you can use pi is equal to around 3.14 if you round it to 2 decimal places. We're going to use pi exactly. We're going to say pi multiplied by the radius squared, so multiplied by 7 squared. Remember, squaring a number is times it by itself, so it's pi multiplied by 49. 7 times 7 is 49, which when we put that in our calculator gives us 153.93804, and it keeps going on and on. So I'm just going to round it to 2 decimal places, so 153.94. That would be centimeters squared, because we're talking about area, and that is rounded to 2 decimal places. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Make sure you know what the radius is, square it, times it by pi, and you're done. Now, the second question, you've been given a diameter. That line is going all the way across the circle and it's going through the center, so it's a diameter. We don't want the diameter, we want the radius. But we know that the diameter is all the way across, all the way through the middle, but the radius is only halfway. So if we know the diameter, we can half that number in order to calculate the radius. So if the diameter of the circle is 12, then the radius has to be 6. So the radius of that circle would be 6. And then we put it into the formula just like we did before. So area is pi r squared. We're replacing the radius with 6 now. So we have pi multiplied by 6 squared, which means it's pi times by 36. 6 times 6 is 36, which gives us pi times by 36 is 113.0973355. Now again, I'm going to round it to 2 decimal places, which is because the 7 would round the 9 up to 10, gives you 10. And again, still the same unit, centimetres squared, and that is to 2 decimal places. And that's it. Those are your 2 most basic types of questions, okay? So obviously the first one is the easiest, where you're given the radius and you just have to plug it into the formula. The second one, you have to half the diameter first, then again take your radius, put it into the formula, and that's it. Remember your units and you're good. The next set of questions are when you have got semicircles or quarter over circles. We can work out areas of different parts of a circle, but that gets a little bit more complicated and we need another formula, so there will be a separate video for that. But for just half a circle or a quarter circle or just nice easy fractions of a circle, we're going to just quickly do that here. So on this first example, you've been given this length is 18. The first thing you need to do is get it clear in your head what that line is. Is it a diameter? Is it a radius? Is it neither? To do that, imagine you have the full circle. So I'm going to just draw it over here. So this would be the full circle. This line that we've got is there, isn't it? What does that look like? Oh, I'm just throwing my calculator around. That's a diameter. So the length you've been given here is a diameter, right? So the first thing you need to do is work out the radius. I'm just going to put it here, which would be half of that. So the radius of this semicircle would be 9. Then we work out the area of the circle. And again, we do it as if we have the full thing. So we just plug the radius that we've been given into the formula. So pi r squared is our formula. We're replacing r with 9. So we're doing pi multiplied by 9 squared. 9 squared is 81. 9 times 9 is 81. So pi times 81, which is 81 times by pi is 254. I'm going to go 3 decimal places, 469 for now, because I want to round to 2 in the end. However many decimal places you want to round at the very end of your question, always leave at least one extra one throughout your working until you get to the very end, and then you can round it to 2. But always leave an extra one until right at the very end so that you can keep your answer as accurate as possible. Now this number, this area we've just worked out, is the area of this full circle. We don't want the area of the full circle. We want the area of the semicircle, which is half of the full circle. So to do that, we need to take this area we've just calculated, so 254.469, and we need to divide it by 2 because we only want half of the circle. So we're going to divide that by 2, which gives me 127.23. To 2 decimal places. Remember your units, it's area, so it's centimetres squared, and I round that to 2 decimal places. Easy. Okay, so you're using the same formula, all the same steps until you get to that very last bit, and we're just remembering to half the area that we've got because we only have half of the circle. And then this last one, we've got a quarter of a circle. So again, the first thing you need to work out is what is the length they've given you. So if we had the full circle, this is what we're interested in. And we know this length is 9 centimetres. Again, this is the middle. So the length we've been given, you can see quite clearly there, it's a radius. So we don't need to half anything. We have the radius, it's 9, and we're just going to plug it into the formula. So area is pi r squared. We're going to replace the r, with 9 again. I didn't realise I'd used the same number twice. Pi multiplied by 9 squared is pi times 81, which I've already worked out is 254.469. I'm going to divide that by 4 this time because I have a quarter of the circle. Yeah, we have split that circle into 4 parts and we only have one of them. We have that part. So I'm going to divide that number by 4, which gives me 63.62 to 2 decimal places. So I've taken that 254.469, I've divided it by 4 this time, gives me 63.62, and that is to 2 decimal places. And that's it. For now, that is all we're going to do on area of a circle. You know the formula, you know how to use it for a full circle, whether you've been given the radius or the diameter. You know how to use it for a semicircle, and you know how to use it for a quarter of a circle. A bit of practice and you will be able to do that with your eyes closed. I hope that helps. Have a lovely day.